is a terrible idea. We could change the course of history.
You always say that, but doesn't history pretty much suck? I mean, the Crusades, Hitler.
Prince Harry marrying Meghan Markle? Again? Oh, like all of your wives are so much better.
This is a definite blow for Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. When they stepped down as working royals, they said that they were going to live a life of service. And now Meghan is shilling loose fruit spread, and Prince Harry is doing polo docs that don't even hit the top 3,000 of Netflix last year. They want to be taken seriously. Clearly, they're not being taken seriously. They want to be A-listers, but they continuously are a Hollywood punchline. That is devastating.
Family Guy is stirring the pot again, and this time, it's Prince Harry and Meghan Markle getting scorched. The animated Roastmasters just dropped a new episode, and they did not hold back. Once again, they dragged the Duke and Duchess through the mud, poking fun at their messy image and the irony of craving privacy while chasing fame. But what really has people talking is the savage comparison they made, lumping Harry and Meghan in with Hitler and the Crusades. Yes, it was that brutal. The moment hit hard. In the time travel episode Twain's World, which aired July 17th, Stewie warns Brian about messing with history. Brian, ever the smartass, waves it off. History already sucks. He shrugs, before rattling off a list of the darkest eras ever. Hitler, the Crusades, and then boom, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. That one line. Instant chaos online. The internet lit up like a bonfire. Classic Family Guy, but this time, even some die-hard fans flinched. And of course, in true Family Guy fashion, the shade didn't stop there. The scene jumped to a cutaway showing animated Harry, arms crossed, scowling at the screen. Again, he groans, rolling his eyes at yet another takedown. But then he claps back at the viewers, saying, "Oh, like all your wives are so much better," with just the right amount of bitterness and snark. It's self-aware, sure, but still savage. No punches pulled, no royalty spared. This isn't their first jab at the Sussexes either. Last year, Family Guy ripped into their Netflix deals and royal rants, turning their trauma into punchlines. But this latest episode feels like a direct hit to the jugular. With Harry and Meghan scrambling to stay relevant, this joke exposes just how tired the public has become of their story. It's not just mockery, it's a cultural gut check, showing the gap between their "we just want privacy" brand and the reality of their PR circus. The backlash, predictable. Some fans loved it, calling it the most honest thing on TV in months. Others cried foul, accusing the show of going too far. But either way, Family Guy got what it wanted. Everyone talking because, while Harry and Meghan try to cling to control over their narrative, the world is laughing, not with them, but at them. And when even a cartoon won't take you seriously anymore, that fairy tale might already be over. Family Guy just did what most mainstream media won't dare to, and some fans are cheering, while others are fuming. The joke comparing Harry and Meghan to Hitler and the Crusades is being called tasteless by critics, but supporters say it's long overdue. Twitter exploded with reactions. One fan mocked royal commentators like Mike Zero and Lady C. "Where were your insider predictions now? Huh," another said. "At least they gave the dimwit some hair." While someone else chimed in, "They confirmed their own downfall daily." Love it or hate it, Family Guy knows how to land a punch. In an era where satire is getting softer, the show keeps going for the jugular, and Harry and Meghan keep handing them ammo. Back when they were part of the monarchy, protocol protected them. Now, they're exposed, stripped of the royal buffer, wide open to jokes, jabs, and judgment. Their exit was branded as brave, a rebellion for freedom, but the reality hasn't been so empowering. It's been rocky at best, humiliating at worst. From Netflix to Spotify, and now, to animated humiliation, the Sussexes are being dragged across every form of media. Why? Because they won't stop giving interviews, airing grievances, and preaching while demanding privacy. One palace insider summed it up: mock the monarchy, and eventually, the monarchy and the world will hit back. And they're not just getting hit by the British press anymore. Now it's American satire doing the damage, and the wounds are deeper than ever. That Family Guy punchline wasn't just a throwaway gag, it was a symbol of how far public perception has shifted. Once seen as victims fleeing royal cruelty, Harry and Meghan now look more like fame chasers than freedom fighters. They traded their crowns for clout, but clout comes with consequences. With no royal mystique to protect them, they're just another pair of celebrities. And in the brutal court of public opinion, the standards are higher and the backlash is louder. If they want to survive this new world they've built, they'll need more than stage documentaries and magazine covers. They need thick skin, a consistent message, and most of all, humility. Because as Family Guy just showed, the public isn't pulling punches anymore. The media circus is spinning, and Harry and Meghan are the main attraction. And just when you thought it couldn't get worse, South Park joins the roast. In their now infamous episode, The Worldwide Privacy Tour, the satire went nuclear. The Canadian royalty are hilariously portrayed as the ultimate contradiction, demanding to be left alone while obsessively chasing fame and validation. From the moment they arrive in South Park, the fictional duo makes it clear they want to live a normal life. How do they prove that? By unloading their private jet, moving into a quiet suburban neighborhood, and launching an all-out attention-seeking spree that includes talk show appearances, protest signs, and global tours. They march around holding picket signs that read, "We want privacy," while deliberately standing in front of paparazzi and TV cameras. The satire is anything but subtle, and that's exactly what makes it so effective. One of the episode's standout jokes takes a direct jab at Prince Harry's best-selling memoir, Spare, which South Park reimagines as, "Wow," a childish cry for attention that perfectly sums up the show's critique. And just in case anyone missed the point, the couple's visit to a branding agency makes it crystal clear. Their entire public persona is built around being victims. The agency even pitches them a new logo that includes victim as one of their brand labels, a scathing commentary on how carefully their image has been constructed. Kyle Broflovsky, their animated neighbor, becomes the voice of the exhausted public, saying, "I'm sick of hearing about them, but I can't get away from them. They're everywhere." That line went viral almost instantly, as fans and critics used it to express real-world frustrations with the couple's contradictory media behavior. What the episode calls their worldwide privacy tour, it was a brilliant callback to earlier satire and captured the central contradiction that's followed Prince Harry and Meghan Markle ever since they left the royal family: a constant demand for privacy while staying front and center in global media. Audiences immediately saw the irony. The sketch showed the couple traveling the world with megaphones, loudly proclaiming they want to be left alone, while giving interviews, making documentaries, and signing book deals. Yes, it was hilarious, but it was also painfully accurate. The comedy didn't work because it was over the top, it worked because it was so close to reality. And this portrayal opened the door to deeper discussions, especially about the strained dynamic between the Sussexes and the rest of the royal family. As news spreads about supposed peace talks happening behind palace doors, more and more people suspect these aren't genuine efforts to reconcile but calculated moves to protect public images on both sides. If they're serious about reconciliation, they both need to apologize. One royal expert bluntly said, and that's the real issue: neither side seems willing to admit fault, turning the idea of healing into more of a performance than a real solution. The fact that Prince William, the one person whose presence could truly signal progress, is completely absent only makes that more obvious. Meanwhile, royal insiders warn that Harry's window for redemption is quickly closing. King Charles is getting older, and the monarchy is slowly shifting under William's growing influence. Without a genuine attempt to repair broken relationships and a willingness to accept some responsibility, Harry's royal standing may soon fade into little more than a footnote in the monarchy's story. What once promised to be a powerful legacy is now in danger of becoming little more than a memory overshadowed by memes, mockery, and missed opportunities. In the end, satire like Family Guy isn't just about entertainment, it holds up a mirror. And right now, that mirror is reflecting a version of reality where Harry and Meghan's quest for privacy, purpose, and relevance has become part of the same circus they once desperately tried to escape. The world may still be watching, but it's not necessarily laughing with them anymore. Though Harry and Meghan never made an official statement about the episode, insiders close to Markle claimed she was deeply upset and overwhelmed by the portrayal. Reports say she found the South Park segment particularly annoying, yet she refuses to watch it herself. That reaction, while silent, speaks volumes. It's the kind of quiet fury that confirms the satire hit a nerve. As expected, neither Family Guy creator Seth MacFarlane nor the Sussexes representatives offered any comment, holding to the same tight-lipped silence that has become their default media strategy. When they're not launching lawsuits or producing documentaries, they're retreating from scrutiny, hoping the headlines pass. But the takeaway is clear: shows like South Park and Family Guy don't just try to make us laugh, they capture the cultural temperature. And right now, the temperature is cooling fast around Harry and Meghan. Once hailed as brave disruptors shaking up the monarchy, they're increasingly viewed as overly polished victims playing a fame game they once claimed to despise. If the satire stings, it's because it's not random, it's not baseless. It's a reflection of a public that's been watching their every move, listening to every contradiction, and now collectively rolling its eyes.